When the largest global disruption of our lifetime, unemployment is at an all-time high, we're worried that we're gonna get sick, or our parents are gonna get sick, or our friends are gonna get sick, and the news is worse than ever. Things are pretty bad right now. We all know the ways that we can help. Wear a mask, wash your hands, and stay home even if you're not at risk so you don't accidentally infect someone who might be at risk. God, it's so hard. We all thought this was maybe like a 2-week max lockdown type situation, but it really seems like we're gonna be staying home indefinitely. And it sucks because we all want social interaction. We want that sense of camaraderie that comes with a gathering or a party. And because we know it's the right thing to do, that leads to the question, how do we stay home long term without going insane? And that is the question I will try to tackle today. I've come up with a checklist of things you can do if you've been feeling the cabin fever, which I know I have. First is shift your mindset. I know that it's hard to think of this whole thing as a positive, but if you think about it, this is the only time where it's socially acceptable to just stay at home and not see anybody, which has a variety of benefits. It's a great time to catch up on work, get to some of the movies that have been on your watch list forever, or just practice some extra self-care. Because you're not spending all this time getting ready and stuck in traffic and hunting for parking, you have all this time to do all the things that you've wanted to do but just haven't had time to do. And I know that like baking sourdough bread and doing gardening is like this meme of like, oh, you've been in quarantine for too long. But the truth is, it's a really great time to pick up a new hobby or skill. And also remember that staying at home or working at home is a privilege. There's lots of doctors and nurses working overtime at the ICUs, and there's essential workers at grocery stores stocking shelves and risking their lives. It's a good reminder that staying at home is definitely a mental challenge, but we're lucky to be able to. You can almost think of it like a race. It's a marathon and not a sprint, and there's always going to be obstacles along the way. 2 is get some sun. It's really easy to stay in your pajamas and watch TV and binge junk food all day in the dark. But seriously, if you open your windows, the sunshine will lift your mood and it'll let your body know that you're supposed to be awake and it's time to get going. And another thing that's super important right now is getting your vitamin D, which you can do by just going outside in the sun for 10 minutes a day, with sunscreen, of course. It's a vitamin that most people are deficient in, and now that we're in a pandemic, our immune systems need it more than ever. 3 is get active. Make it a goal to do it 3 times a week, once a week, whatever works for you. Go on a socially distant walk or hike, or do a home workout. In the beginning of quarantine, I was one of those people that was like, what am I gonna do without a gym? But the truth is, you can get a really good workout in at home with little to no equipment. There's tons on YouTube and Instagram, and if you're somebody who needs weight like I did, you can get creative. I literally took my Costco-sized laundry detergent, which was basically new, so it was super full and super heavy, and I just held it up to my body and I did squats. You can do the same with a big bottle of bleach or oil or whatever it is you can find around the house. And of course, you can go online and buy little things like a yoga mat or a booty band or a couple of dumbbells. 4 is prioritize your diet. I have a whole video called What You Should Eat, which is based on the premise that we're all confused about what the right diet is for ourselves. So go check that out in the description below if you'd like to watch it. Because you're at home now, you have almost no excuse to not be cooking healthy, nutritious meals for yourself. And like I said earlier, because it's super important for us to have strong immune systems right now, I highly recommend getting into healthy eating. 5 is get social interaction at least once a day. This is especially important if you're quarantining alone. Basically, humans are social creatures, and it's really easy to lose your sense of self when there's no one around you to talk to. At least once a day, I highly recommend calling your mom or a friend or just somebody you can have a little chat with. And because we have all this time now, it's also a great time to reconnect with somebody that you haven't talked to in a long time. It's also a great time to follow up with anyone you've networked with at an event or anything like that. Because a lot of people are out of work or less busy at work, they'll probably be more than willing to talk to you about their job and their career path and how they got where they are. So yeah, definitely something to take advantage of. 6 is get off of social media and news. So I found that limiting my news intake has helped my mental health a lot. And the same thing with social media. When you're at home and you're just chilling on the couch all day, it's really easy to just mindlessly scroll. It's a great time to look at your screen time statistics and see what you've been up to and see if it's anything that you should cut down on. Especially with all the craziness that's going on social media all the time, sometimes you just need to detox for an hour or a day or a week or whatever it is that you need to take. Of course, the exception to all this is definitely check if there's anything in your area that you need to know about. For example, in the city that I'm at, they recently required masks indoors and businesses, so that's definitely something you should look out for in your own area. And finally is take care of your mental health. Something that people don't think about is that a side effect of a bunch of people getting sick and losing their jobs and staying at home and being isolated is that there's a mental health crisis happening right now. I'm sure everyone has felt more down or anxious since this whole thing has happened. Because of that, it's more important than ever to take care of yourself. There's teletherapy and online therapy offered through a variety of services. You can call your insurance and see what they can do for you, or ask your primary care doctor for a referral. Everything on this list that I just talked about is for your mental health. And also, don't be afraid to tell your professors or your coworkers that you're struggling and going through something, because chances are they'll be really sympathetic because it's a difficult time for everybody. But yeah, definitely don't be afraid to reach out to the people in your life, because that's what's really important right now. This is a video I really wanted to make because I personally have been like, oh my god, how am I gonna stay home when there's literally no end in sight? If you're struggling, I really feel you. I am too. I think everybody is. My name is Grace. That was my video for this week. Happy quarantine!